Hello there survivors and welcome back to another build tutorial in ARK Survival Ascended. Today I'm going to show you the step-by-step build guide to build this Viking house. Now personally I've used the Klinger Rustic mod for this to build this whole structure, mostly using the new fur skins. So if you want it to look exactly like it does over here, you should of course have that mod installed, although you could probably just build this out of mostly wood and get a similar result and then just use a thatched roof of course. But I would recommend trying the Klingers mod for sure, especially if you enjoy building. Now the building is nothing too big, but it is nice and cozy inside and will definitely be a lovely home for you to get you started until you have some more stuff to build something bigger. And as always, of course, if you enjoy seeing these build guides, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the other ones that I'll be doing in the future. Also, specifically for this one, let me know if you want to see more tutorials using some of these popular building mods. With that being said, let's jump into the build. Of course, like with most builds, we're going to be starting out with the foundation. And I'm using the rustic rock foundations for this. You want to start out by making it 3 wide and then 6 long in total. So like this. And then of course we can add them all in and fill in the entire shape. Okay, then we want to add some pillars on the corners. Now you do this by placing down the pillars and then you can remove the top one. We kind of want to go along with the shape. And then here on the side we want to use this beam variant to kind of go along the side all the way. And also here at the back we can add it in. And then we should be able to just add the pillars more easily now because we can snap to those beams. And also of course on this side we want to make sure we get the beam all the way along. And on the front we only want to do it on the sides because in the middle of course we're going to have the stairs, but we do want to add the extra pillars right there. And on the side, we're also going to be adding some extra pillars. The first one is going to be here, going from the front. So 1 from the front. Then here in the middle, we're going to add 2 more. So basically, you have a gap of 1, then a gap of 2, gap of 1, gap of 2. Here on the other side, we'll do the exact same pattern. So we'll have 2 next to each other, and then 1 here on the front to add a little bit more detail to these sides. Now, if you're building this in the snow, like me, then you'll notice that everything is, of course, covered in snow. Klingers does have the option to switch it to clean, but then also the outsides look clean. So to kind of combat this, as well as just add in some extra details, we're going to actually add some walls into this build so that we can still clean our floors, but still have the snowy effect on the outside, because, of course, that does add in some lovely details. But this is mostly relevant, of course, if you're building in a snowy area, because otherwise, yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can just use the normal regular stone. This wolf is just really appreciating my build. And if you are building it in the snow, you want to keep the first layer still with snow probably, and from there we want to clear the foundations and, you know, make them nice and clean, because that's going to be inside the build. And it's so weird that in ARK, the snow stays on your structures even if they're inside. I would love for them to fix that, but in the meantime, luckily we have amazing mods like this, where we can just switch that to the right one. To be fair, there's also custom cosmetics you can download that do the same for normal vanilla structures. Okay, we're going to start on the right side of the building and we're going to add in some of the windows first. So here, we're just going to add a regular window, and then here in the middle, we're going to actually flip that texture and place it the other way around. I like to do this to kind of break the textures and just add a little bit of details that way, even though these structures, of course, are already insanely detailed. Then on the other side, we're pretty much going to do the same. However, we're going to do the textures the other way around. So we flip this one and place that one as normal. Then here at the back, we also want one with the normal textures to the outside. And then here on the front, we also want to add in a little window. Then we can have a double door next to it. and a normal wall that will flip on the side next to that. Then here we want to keep the same textures next to the window. And for the other two, we just want to use the regular orientation. So like this with the fur on the outside. At the back, we want to flip this one, and the other one we can keep normal. And here on this side, we want to have this one normal, and then these two will flip around like so. And again, I kind of do this just to break up the textures. I just think that gives a really cool effect of being a little bit of a mishmash of textures, and just a little bit more interesting than having fur on the outside everywhere. Then, of course, it's time to start adding in some doors. So we want to do that in the normal door, and of course for all these windows. Here again, you could also flip them, but if you just place them normally, they already should have variations everywhere in the way that they look, which of course is again quite nice because it's just another little way to add some details to your build. Then it's time to take out the rope wood pillar, which is also part of Klingers. And we're going to have one on the corner, one next to the door, other side as well, and this corner as well, of course. Then on the sides, you basically just want to follow up where we have the pillars for the foundation as well, just to support the building, add a few details in there. And yeah, overall just have some extra supports going on. Here on the front, we also want to add in 4 pillars like this. Of course, here on the front, we want to add in some stairs just to have a nice way up to your little front porch that we've got going on here. And on the inside, we actually also want to add stairs right there so that you can reach the second layer. Of course, everything inside, if we can, we clean it so there's no snow on top of it. Then from the normal rustic wood, we'll take out the railings so that we have a nice railing on the side of the staircase. Unfortunately, there's no option to clean this, but it's only the railing, so I guess I can live with that. And then we can actually start by adding in the floors here as well. So we'll go around and we'll add in our nice fir ceilings to basically extend this build. And then here on the front, we're actually going to extend above the little porch too. And of course, we can clean these structures so that the inside of our building is going to be nice and snow free. Then on the sides, we actually want to add another layer of quarter ceilings just to extend the build a little bit and go from a 3 wide to basically be a 4 wide by the time that we've added those quarter ceilings to both sides of the building. And again, because they are going to be on the inside mostly, we're going to clean these too. Then we're going to get started here on the front. We want to start out by adding a sloped wall right here on the corner, the normal way around. And then the other one, we're going to flip around, of course. Then we'll have a window again, just a normal orientation. And then we'll add in some more slope walls. This one, we're going to be flipping. And then the other one is going to be normal once more. And then this one is going to be flipped and just a normal full wall. So this will be the front. So we have again a little bit of variation in there. And of course we can actually add the window to this. Then here on the underside, of course, we're going to do something very similar. We start out with the slope wall right there. And of course here on the other side as well, flipping it around. Then here we're just going to connect the window like normal. We'll also have the thing on top be normal, and then this one will flip around, basically making just a 50-50. Of course, you can break it up if you like a different variation, but yeah, for this one, we're going just with the regular 50-50 division here. And of course, here we can also add in the window so that we can actually open and close it as well. Then we can take out our row pillar. We can add 2 here in the middle. We'll do the same thing on the other side, of course, adding a nice support. Then going to the row beam, we'll add one going all the way across the bottom of the top bit of the roof. We'll do the same thing here on the front as well to kind of bind it all together and have the proper support sticking out. Then it's time to take out the fur roof, and instead of snapping it like this, we want to take this quarter ceiling and snap it like so. So we have a little half overlap on the outside. Then we can just stack the roof against it. And on the other side, of course, we can just keep going the same way. And then we can actually just start filling in the roof. Nice and easy. Nothing too wild, nothing too fancy about this roof. Just filling it in all the way. And yeah, I really like the textures of this one, especially also on the inside with all the ropes and stuff. Just looks really nice. Of course, if you do want to add some detail, you could actually flip some of them around, making it look like they haven't quite finished putting the fur on the roof yet. Yeah, so this is basically the basic shape of the house, but of course, it's Klingers. We've got a bunch of cool textures. We want to add some extra details. And then, of course, we definitely do want to have a fireplace. So I would add one right here on this side so that we have a little chimney sticking out the roof as well, which is just a lovely little detail, of course. Then it's really time to take this up a notch. First, though, we're going to add a quick beam on the top of the roof just to add in a little bit more details there. And then we're going really crazy with all the details. You've got these different pieces in some different variations of how big they are, and you've got all kind of things for these actually, but these ones we're mostly interested in. You can see I've been using them as details on the builds. First, we'll go to the medium one, and this is what we want to place here on the end of our roofs as a little detail. So the first one we're going to be placing right here. They have no snap points, so you kind of have to eyeball where you want them placed until you like what you see. So I like what I see right here. We'll do the same thing on the end of the roof on the other side. So basically as far as we can go, we'll bring it right up to here. And then the other one as well, right up to as far as we can go. And that just adds a nice little shape detail to the roof. Then we're going back to the small one, and this we can actually use in a bunch of places to add some cool details. First of all, being right here in these pillars to kind of help support the rest of the build, and adding some nice little curves and supports to the whole house on the sides, which is definitely one of the best way to use these. And I love these pieces. And I actually do like the fact that they do not have any snapping, because that makes them so useful. You can literally just add them anywhere and in so many different ways, maybe some unexpected ways as well, which you couldn't do if it was just like a normal building piece that you had to snap to the grid. But this is really nice. So yeah, we're going to just place them against every pillar that we've placed just to get some nice supports in. Here, of course, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to be placing them against all those pillars to kind of add the proper supports on this build. There we go. And then here we actually also want to make sure that we do it the other way around. So from these pillars, we also want to make sure that we got the supports in place. There we go. Then we can also do them here on the outsides, of course. There we go. Same thing over here. Making sure that we line it up all nicely. There we go. And of course, we want to have them in between here as well to really add those proper details and a proper shape here to the front of the build. There we go. Add one right there as well. And then, of course, the middle ones. We definitely do not want to forget about them. And then this is what you end up with some nice details. I really like, even for a small build, how much detail you can add into it just with those easy new pieces, which look really fun. Well, there's not much to tour for this build, but I'll show you around nonetheless of what I've done. So this is the first one that I designed that we just did the tutorial for. And you can see I've got some decor out here, which is all part of the Western Deco mod, which is a great way to detail your place with these hay bales and these storage boxes. This is a rustic feeding trough, also from Klingers, pretty nice. This is also from the Western Deco, same over here. And then we actually have some nice benches here on the porch. Those are the for rustic mod as well. So if you've done this build with Klinger, you can also use them, and they are quite nice to look at. Definitely a nice view. So yeah, that's just an easy way that you can add a little bit of detail to the outside. I haven't really done anything here on the inside yet, but you have a little bit of room, right? You can definitely add a little bedroom up here, some storage. You can definitely have some crafting going on down here as well, without having too much problems. And it's just a very nice and cozy way to build a house. And the Klinger structures all look really, really great. So if you haven't yet, and this is your first adventure with Klingers, I can definitely recommend trying out some more, because it's a really good looking build mod. All right, with that being said, I think that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye.